It is straight up 12 o'clock. Noon out here in Las Vegas, 3 o'clock Eastern back home in Indiana and other places. And it is good to see you with our daily distinction chat here that we're doing. And I'm so glad, man, I'll tell you what, I'm so glad that so many folks have decided to be a part of this. Hi to everybody watching on Instagram. We're live on YouTube. We're live on Facebook. We're live on Twitter Periscope, live on Instagram. Some of the graphics that we've got on the others I can't do on Instagram because I'm doing that on the phone. But Tara, great to see you. Rick, is always great to see you. I think that's Roger, folks. Oh, gosh, one of my inspirations of my FFA days. Great to see you. Hi, Rita. So glad that you are here as well. Thanks to everybody jumping online right now. Thank you. Amy and Andy, good to see you. Thank you for being here. And by the way, I got right here about showbizbook.com/free. I wanted to give a free gift to those of you that take time to watch right here and wanted to be able to share that with you. So if you go to that link, showbizbook.com/free, I realize I'm pointing at it on Instagram. They can't see it. So sorry about that if you're watching on Instagram. But the web, the link is showbiz, B-I-Z, like showbiz, showbizbook.com/free. And you will get a free copy you can download on your Kindle on Amazon. My book, All Business is Still Show Business. What happened was All Business is Show Business, my first book, came out 15 years ago, 17 years ago now, and I did a 15th anniversary update. Now, if you want to get the paperback, it's available on Amazon, but because of the relationship with a printer publisher, I can't give those away for free. So that's available if you want it, but it's absolutely free if you go to Kindle and download it. So that is there. Oh my gosh, Phil Jones, watching from the UK, my great friend. Man, it is good to see you. I hope you are doing great with the twins and everything. Man, it's great to see you. Steve, thank you for posting the link there so people can click on it. Alan, good to see you. My goodness. Dwayne, is always glad you're here. Doug, Steve, it's always, you're the best. So thank you. Oh my gosh, Scott Stratton is joining us on Instagram. Maybe it's Allison, but anyway, hi, guys. Glad you're here. So showbizbook.com, absolutely free. Just something as you are in quarantine here in lockdown, it's something for you to read and I hope enjoy and get you thinking about some things. All right. It is Tuesday as we continue. I saw doing some of the best work. There is something. Phil Jones just posted, I'm doing some of the best work of my life. And, there is something about this forced quarantine, this forced time of reflection and analyzation and all those kinds of things that is making us more creative. I really, really do believe that, Phil. I just think that you're right on. And have you seen the meme that's going around that it was during a quarantine that Sir Isaac Newton came up with physics and the theory of gravity? So I don't think, Phil, with all due respect, I don't think you and I are going to come up with like gravity during this time, but it's a great thing. Hey, love to you guys too, and hope everything is great with Charlotte and the twins and everybody else. Hey, my pal Jim Plump is on here. Jim had me and come back home to Jackson County, Indiana, and I had a privilege of speaking there for the Economic Development Group, and they've done such an extraordinary job bringing jobs and work to my home area. And Jim's been a good friend for a long time. He worked at the newspaper in Columbus, Indiana when I was on the radio there. So great to see everybody here. Man, we got a lot of folks in here today. I'm so glad for that. Okay, got two things I want to talk to you about today. First is, how are we communicating with the people around us during the time that we are in quarantine? And second is a theory of thinking about what we know that I learned by watching a documentary on Netflix night before last. I wanted to share with you that I thought was really powerful and really, really important and impressive. I want to make certain, and I just want to put on the table of ideas as we talk about here over the days that we're together here at noon. I want to put on the table of ideas that this is a great time for you to have the time. We've talked about the solitude. We've talked about, reading. We've talked about thinking. We've talked about planning. We've talked about goal setting in our previous episodes. but I also want to make sure that you're communicating. There might be things that you have needed to say to a loved one, and now is a chance to sit down and talk about it. And now is the chance, a little bit unfettered, to have some conversations. Now, sometimes, I don't know, that might worry you. I noticed my wife, Tammy, there she is. She'd fallen asleep. And if you notice, you can't see the picture on Instagram if you're watching, but it's a picture of my wife, Tammy, that is dozed off on the couch while reading a book. And the title of the book is Serial Killers. Now, first of all, what she's doing, studying up on serial killers, I'm not quite certain why that is important for her. And the second thing is, if reading about serial killers puts you to sleep, what does it really take to excite you? She's going to kill me when this is over. But I just wanted to share, maybe she's getting, you're right, Andy, she's getting some ideas there. I didn't notice that she was taking notes, but it really kind of scared me that my wife was reading and studying up on serial killers, and that, in fact, wasn't exciting enough to keep her awake. I did not get approval, Colin, to share that picture. I think I probably am in trouble for sharing that. But if I'm not here tomorrow, you'll know the reason why. Anyway, it's a great time to read. It's a great time to reflect, but maybe you ought to be communicating with the people around you to make certain that you're on the right track and on the right path there. All right, so a couple nights ago, I watched this fascinating documentary. And it was called The Unknown Known. It is a documentary about Donald Rumsfeld, who you probably remember best as the Secretary of Defense in the George W. Bush administration. In fact, he was also Secretary of Defense for a while in the Ford presidency. But it's an absolutely fascinating documentary about his history. Also, it talks about the Iraqi war and weapons of mass destruction and all of those kinds of things that are absolutely fascinating. But one of the things that struck me about what he talked about was how he defined information. And it's something, as the coronavirus challenge continues to come at us, that I think we ought to think about in that context, as well as in the context of what we study and what we learn and what we know and how we grow and all that. So let me share with you how he divides information. He said, first of all, he has one that he calls the known knowns. A known known is a fact that we know. So in other words, it's known, it's true, it's a fact, and we know it. That's a known known. So it might not be something that you need to review. Maybe you want to just to kind of keep pace, or maybe you want to just to kind of advance your studies. But a known known is something that is factual and that we already know it. So an example that he might use is, Iraq is a Islamic country. Okay, the fact that they're in an Islamic country is known, and we know it. So that is a known known. He said, so then there are known unknowns. In other words, facts and information that we know we don't know, and we know we need to learn. Okay, so a known unknown would be that there's knowledge out there that we don't have, and we know we don't have it. For example, as would apply to the coronavirus, there are things out there about it that we know we don't know. And we know that laboratories are studying it. We know that we don't know enough to create a vaccine, but we're trying and we're studying. So a known unknown is something that it's knowledge that we know we don't have. Okay? So, for example, if I wanted to study physics, there's a lot of laws of physics that I don't know. And I know I don't know it. So I can go study that and make it a known known. But for right now, it's a known unknown. Then he gets into this. How about an unknown known? In other words, it's a fact and it's true, but we don't know even about it. Okay, so in other words, there's something out there that's factual and it's true, but yet we don't even realize it. We don't even know it yet. It's kind of like the old saying, you don't know what you don't know. That's an unknown known. We don't know that it's true. We don't even know it's out there. That's what that would be. And then finally, the one that gets us into trouble is the last one, which is, let me find it here, the unknown unknown. We don't know it, and it's maybe not even factual yet. Now, think about this, okay? So unknown unknowns are discovered through research, and we find out there's a fact. And then that's how it converts to a known known. Or somebody else discovers it and we haven't learned it yet. But there are things about the world and things about the universe that we don't even, not only do we not know it, we don't even know if it's out there or not, right? So it would be like me studying a subject that I'm not even aware of yet. I know I don't know it and I don't even know what it is, right? So that the unknown unknowns are really hard to stumble across because we don't know that we don't know it because nobody knows it yet. See what I'm saying there? Okay, so here's the one that really, really is difficult during this time that we're experiencing now. The unknown known, as he defines it in the documentary, is what we know, but what isn't true. Think about that for a second. What we think we know, but what isn't actually true. I got an email from a friend, and it was a video. And the video was on all the ways that we were supposed to help fight and to self-check about coronavirus. And one of the things that it said is take a deep breath. If you can hold the deep breath for 10 seconds without coughing, that means that you don't have it. Well, the problem with that is it's not true. I mean, we know for a fact that it takes a couple of weeks. You could have the virus for a couple of weeks before it manifests itself. And we've seen that everywhere. So what if you're at day 2 and you hold your breath, you think, oh, I don't have it. It's just not true. It's what we think we know, but yet it's not the case. That's what we have to be fighting during this particular time. Another thing that it said is gargle with salt water, that can, that can take it down. The problem is that's not true. And you can find all of these things online that are things that we could think about or know that just aren't the case. Now, I don't want to be critical of the friend that sent it because she was really trying to help and to advise and to connect. But what she shared was wrong. And so what we have to do, it seems to me, is to think about what we are going to listen to. Because, as the documentary said, there are 4 basic types of the way that we think about knowledge. And what we have to do, can you imagine, just try to imagine this for a second. You're playing football, and you get in the huddle, and the wide receiver calls a play, and the running back calls a play, and the lineman, the guard on the line calls a play. And everybody's standing there looking at it, okay, the clock's running, what are we going to do? And everybody is called to play. You can't have a game where everybody in the huddle is trying to call the play. That's why the quarterback calls the play. Now you can say, oh, the coach on the sidelines calls the play. No, because the quarterback can audible once he gets to the line. The quarterback calls the play. We have to accept that there is a quarterback that runs the infectious disease laboratory, Dr. Fauci, that stands up there and talks to us almost every day. Why don't we say he's the quarterback? Let him call the plays. And we're all going to just say, we don't know, but we're going to listen to the court. We're going to run the play the quarterback calls. Now, somebody might say, oh, but hey, aren't you a fan of sports, Scott? We always criticize the quarterback. We even tweet about it during games, about criticizing the plays that are called. Yeah, but that's the problem. In this situation, you're not a fan in the stands. You're on the field in the game. So we got to play the game based upon the plays that a quarterback calls. And if we aren't ready to do that, then this thing is going to extend much longer and going to be much more challenging than what it could be otherwise. I saw a great meme today. It was the vice principal from the Breakfast Club. Paul Gleason is the actor's name. Remember him? And he was lecturing the class. And he said, you don't like this month of isolation? That gets you one more. I thought that was great. We're seeing a lot of great things being posted in that. But when it comes to the information about what we should or should not do, let's just listen to the quarterback and run the plays the quarterback calls. After the game is over, we can be critical or we can be effusive in our praise. But for this period of time, let's do what the quarterback says. All right. Enough on that. Known knowns, known unknowns. I really recommend it. It's The Known Unknown, and you'll find it on Netflix. It is a documentary about the former Secretary of Defense, Donald Rumsfeld. Hey, Bonnie, great to hear from you. Your kids are working at it. Oh, man. Are you kidding me? Oh, you are way in it. Bonnie posts here, if you're on Instagram watching live and can't see it, is that an ER trauma center nurse, 2 sons paramedics. We got to be listening to the WHO. We got to be listening to the experts. Yeah, Colin, there's the problem. Everybody thinks they're the quarterback. I love that meme that is on, and it says BBC. Have you seen that? It's like an anchor at British Broadcasting saying, "We'll be right back with this report on the coronavirus from expert Facebook Mary from Facebook," right? I mean, I mentioned a while ago, Colin, I know that you heard, I mentioned a while back, isn't it amazing that the people that were experts a couple of months ago on constitutional law now are experts on infectious disease? It's absolutely amazing how this expertise is being transferred. Oh, Mary, holy cow, Mary put her phone in her pocket and started walking around and heard my voice from her behind. Now, I've been accused of talking out of my butt a few times, Mary, but that's the first time I've been a ventriloquist when it comes to that. So but I'm glad you're listening. I'm glad you're here. It's good to see you. Well, hey, everybody, thank you so much for watching today. It's always great talking to you. I want you to think about, go back and think about some certain things, or when you come across a piece of information, ask yourself, okay, is this something that they know and they know it? Is it something that they think they know? Is it something that's true to begin with? I mean, we have to be a little more critical and analyzing of the information that we're hearing. But the main thing is, don't try to listen to 100 different people. We've got someone who's quarterbacking this thing. Let's let them be the quarterback. All right? Hey, that takes care of us for today. Thank you. By the way, remember, you can get the book absolutely free, the Kindle version of the book at showbizbook.com/free. Yeah, Dana, Tammy is an expert on serial killers. Therefore, she knows that information, and she just go to sleep during it. Yeah, that's perfect. That's great. Hey, Gary, how are you? Gary Bye, my old buddy from the National FFA Center, back in Washington State on his tractor. Good to see you. I'm glad all is safe there and that you guys are taking care of yourself back there. I hope we cross paths here when everything gets back to whatever the new normal might be. My pal Randy Pennington had a great post talking about things are not going to get back to normal. We're going to have a new normal on the way. If you're on Facebook, check out Randy Pennington. It's a really terrific post. So when I talk to my wife, is that someone who knows what they don't know? Andy, I ain't going there. You're going to have to answer that for yourself. You're trying to get me in trouble there, and I am not taking the bait. So, hey, everybody, thank you so much. It's always a privilege and a pleasure to be here, and thank you for spending your time. I look forward to being back here with more info for you tomorrow. Tammy's posting. I don't know what that's. Ruh-roh. I look forward to talking to everybody again tomorrow. Thank you for your time. Thank you. And if you would, please share so that we can grow our audience. Please get folks talking about this. I really appreciate that and look forward to talking to you again right here, same time tomorrow. Thanks a lot.